Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you have never been here, of course, then welcome. I'm so glad you've stopped by. Today, we are reviewing the Lunar Beauty Total Eclipse eyeshadow palette, along with the brush set and the two glosses from the whole collection. So if you guys would like to see what this whole collection consists of, what brushes are in the brush set, what two glosses are in the collection, as well as what this eyeshadow palette looks like, how it swatches like, how it performs, and what my initial first impressions are, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. Okay guys, first things first, you know the drill. Let's talk about it. Now this whole collection with the eye brush set, the two glosses, and the eyeshadow palette was $95. You can also just get the eyeshadow palette by itself for $45, the eye brush set for $35. Oh, one of these is actually a lipstick. It's not two lip glosses. So the lip gloss is $17 and the lipstick is $18. And I will show you guys the shades very soon, but first we're going to open up the brush set because I'm going to be using these very quickly. So I want to show you guys what brushes are in here. First of all, the brush bag is super cute, aside from my gross fingerprints that I've already put on it. But the brush bag is black, glossy. It's just very sleek, very unisex, very neutral. I love it. Then if we unzip it, we have 6 brushes that were previously wrapped in plastic, but I unwrapped them. We've got the LBE1 Large Fluffy Blender Brush, the LBE2 Dense Fluffy Blender Brush, the LBE3 Small Fluffy Blender Brush, the LBE4 Flat Packing Brush, the LBE5 Fluffy Packing Brush, the LBE6 Small Pencil Brush, and the LBE7 Mini Packing Brush. So there's all 7 brushes from the brush set. Now here's the packaging for the lipstick and the gloss. You can't really see the gloss because it's very washed out. I'll try to turn it sideways so you can kind of see it. But this is really cool. This whole prism effect is just awesome. It's even beveled and raised a little bit on the edges so you can actually feel that it's made into it. It's really neat. I love this unit carton packaging. Plus, it's holographic, and who doesn't love a rainbow? Now here's the actual component for the lipstick. This is the shade Zaya. And then here's the lip gloss component. This is the same component as the actual lipstick. It's just white instead of black. I like the lipstick packaging better, but the white's pretty too. And here's the gloss in the shade Aura. Oh wow, that is a very tinted gloss. Okay. Ooh, that's pretty. And then we have the piece de resistance, the Lunar Beauty Eternal Eclipse eyeshadow palette. Oh, sorry, color palette. I love this packaging. Well, the unit carton anyway. It's so gorgeous. The starry night and the blue everywhere. It's just gorgeous. It reminds me of a Windows wallpaper. Then if we flip it over, it has the Lunar Beauty Manny MUA signature on the back, as well as the ingredients and the social media links along the middle. And now, if we open the unit carton, we are then greeted by the palette itself. And we have this absolutely gorgeous holographic moon raised on top, of course, just like the Strawberry Dreams palette. If you haven't seen that review, I'll leave it linked in the top left corner so you can, or top right corner, so you can check that out if you want to. But it looks so much like this palette. Then you have the Eternal Eclipse across the bottom, which is also raised, just like these little mountains here, or hills, or whatever you want to call them. And we have that starry night behind the holographic moon. And if we flip it over again, it has the Lunar Beauty Eternal Eclipse palette on it, and it has the social media links again, and net weight on the side. And now, if we open the palette itself, it should have a protective sheet. It does. Here we go. Now let's see what she looks like. Oh, it's sickening in its own beautifully neutral, cool blue way. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in, and we're going to get started on swatches. The first shade is the shade Flare. Adamantium. Meteor. Gold Dust. Desert Sky, Dusk, Rose Thorn, Sandstorm, Summer Sky, Earthbender, Starry Eyed, Smoke, Deep Sea, Lagoon, and last is the shade Night Sky. And there we have it. There's every single shade from the Lunar Beauty Eternal Eclipse eyeshadow palette. As always, I will insert photos of the swatches, one with flash here, and one without flash here. And here is our video close-up of every single swatch. And now, using the LBE2, I'm going to go into the shade Lagoon. This shade is nowhere near as powdery as Rose Thorn was. It is still a little powdery, but kind of like normal powdery, if you know what I mean. And with this shade, I'm going to start deepening up Rose Thorn. Oh yeah. I love it. I'm so excited. This is going to be so gorgeous. If it looks like what I think it's going to look like. There's really no guarantee that it's going to. Now, without tapping off any of the excess before I went in with this shade, there is the tiniest bit of fallout, but I mean like 3 specks, maybe? It's really nothing. And I'm just using some circular motions here to fill in the crease, deepen everything up, but I want to make sure I don't cover up any of that rose tone that I've added, because I feel like the contrast between the rose and the navy is going to be just gorgeous and make it stand out even more. Do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see how beautiful those shades are together? Manny, you did that, okay? You did this. I'm 2 shades in and I'm in love with it. Now that blue is looking a little patchy on camera and on the monitor, but it's not looking patchy in person. It looks like a different level of pigmentation between the outer portion and the inner portion, but that's literally just from the amount that I've applied. So I guess let me try to build that up and see if I can get it to not look like that on camera. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Something I'm noticing with this blue that I think is important to know is that it is very, very pigmented, which just means that you really need to be careful when you're using it because it can build up and blow out a lot very quickly. So I recommend if you're going to use the blue within your look, maybe build it up slowly and not quite as much as, say, someone like me does. Just word of caution, but that's okay because it is still beautiful. By the way, I never mentioned, and I always forget to mention, the mirror in this palette is massive. It's really, really big. I mean, it is the size of the palette. I can see my whole face in it whenever I'm looking through it, so it's definitely a good size mirror. However, it is rather heavy. So I'm kind of tired of holding it. So I'm going to use my little baby Indie Beat Cosmetics music player mirror here. I'm going to listen to my sweet jams on the go. While I apply dusk, oh wow, it is also very powdery. So I'm guessing these lighter matte shades are all going to be just a little bit more powdery like that. But I'm going to use this shade. Oh my gosh. I don't have any eyeshadow left on the brush now that I tapped off the excess. Anyway, I'm going to use this shade as my lightening blending shade on the outermost edge. And I'm just going to blend out Rose Thorn with Dusk. Now with this shade, normally I'll only use my lighter shades on the outer portion where my brow bone is so that I can kind of blend out the edge and make it kind of fade into the rest of the skin. But this time I'm going all the way around, including into the inner corner area because I only took Rose Thorn about halfway into the inner corner, so I want to still continue to blend that out the rest of the way. It's sort of just my way to blow out the entire look. Hi, Leaf. Hello, come here. Come here, Leaf. Oh, good boy. You just got groomed and you're so pretty. Can you say hi? Say hi. Oh, you You just drink water and your beard is so wet. But you're so pretty with your new haircut. Oh, he's so pretty. He's so pretty, Leaf. Do you like the blue palette? Do you like the blue palette? Let's give your final thoughts on the Eternal Eclipse palette, Leaf. How's your review? Is it acceptable? Oh, he turned away. Oh, do you not like it? Do you not like it? Well, we have one judge. I think it's about time we shimmerize the lid. I'm gonna go in with the LBE 5 into the shade Deep Sea. Are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain. Oh my goodness gracious. Do you see this blue? It's so stunning. And that was with a dry brush, just really light coverage. I just expected it to be a wash of some glitter particles, but it actually put down the blue base as well, or black base maybe. I got all my blue applied. Now it's time to go in with the LBE 4 brush, the detailed flat brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Flare. And I did leave the shade Deep Sea off of my lid toward the inner corner, or well, I didn't leave it off, I just didn't pack it on as much with anticipation of putting another shade up front, so I'm hoping that that's going to help the shade stand out just a little bit. It's okay. It wasn't as potent as I thought it was gonna be. But then again, this is like the brightest, lightest shade in the palette, so I kind of think it was meant to be more of like a topper sort of shade. But I'm just gonna keep packing on and see if I can build it up to the actual champagne shade that it is, because in the pan, it's gorgeous as like a just champagne-y nude. So I'm just gonna keep building, see if I can potentially turn it into that shade. You know, it's not really potent, but it's really beautiful even as is. It's a very sheer layer of pigment, but for the color story and for this look, that actually kind of works, and I love it. You can see what I mean though, it still adds that lightness there, but it's just not super opaque is all. I will say, now that I know though, this is definitely more of a topper shade. This just blows my mind. I love this. Okay, now it is time to try the same shade, except I'm gonna use the LBE 7 this time, and I'm gonna use it as my brow bone highlight, and I'm hoping that this is gonna give me the chance to really see what the shade looks like without being impeded by any other shade. That is what I'm talking about. Just a gorgeous, cool toned champagne nude. What is not to love? Ooh. Now I have one brush left. I thought that I was done with the look so far. I'm gonna use the LBE 6 and I'm gonna go into the shade Night Sky. I just really want to add a little bit more contrast on the outer edges of this look. So I'm gonna chance using the black with the super sparkly purple and blue, and I'm gonna put this right on my outer V. And that's the only place I'm gonna put the black at first. So I'm gonna pull it up into the crease just a slight bit, and then I'm gonna pull it down and along the lower lash line just a slight bit. And then, since I have a little bit more contrast built up, I'm gonna go back in with the same LBE 2 that had the shade Lagoon on it, add just a tiny bit more Lagoon to it, and just blend out the edge very gently and very lightly. Just wanna make it a little more smoky. Yes, ma'am. That is so gorgeous. I love that. It's so funny how just the slightest bit of black right on the outer corner changed everything. And with the black applied, that now finishes off the whole top part of this eyeshadow look. I feel like I could literally just stop here and be happy, but I'm not going to. I need to finish off my whole face, obviously. So I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera, do all of my face makeup, get my mascara, my lashes, my contour, my blush, everything else on, and then I'll come back so that we can finish off the lower lash line using the Eternal Eclipse palette, as well as finish off the lips using the lipstick and the lip gloss. So I will see you guys in just a second. I have once and for all completed all of my face makeup. Finally. So let's go ahead and finish off the lower lash line. I want to let you guys know first that I did use the shade Flare as my highlighter, and look at this as a highlighter on my skin tone. This is so gorgeous. I'm telling you, this is the perfect cool toned neutral champagne shade. It's great on the brow bone, it's great on the inner corner, it's great as the highlight. It's poppin'. Let's finish the lower lash line. First and foremost, I'm going to start with the Morphe M113 flat brush. It's a very straight great for that brush, but it's very broken now. But it's okay, it works perfect for under eyeshadow. And I'm gonna go into the shade Summer Sky. I feel like that shade is also very powdery, but it's hard to tell with one of these brushes because it just sits right on top of the brush. And with this shade, I'm just gonna start lightly stamping it onto my lower lash line, right along the lashes. Just a nice clean line all the way up to the tear duct on the inner corner. Just like that. Next, I'm gonna use this Ulta X Harry Potter The Stone brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Smoke. This one has almost no kick up in the pan. And now I'm just going to smoke out the shade Summer Sky very carefully. Feel like maybe I might have gotten too big of a brush for this, but that's okay. We're gonna do it anyway. Since I'm all smoky now, I need to be gleamy as well. So I'm going to use this Morphe inner corner highlight brush, we're going to call it because that's what I'm going to use it for, and go into the shade Flare once again. And this is just going to pop on that inner corner. I'm just going to lay it on and make it super intense, hopefully. I just want to cry, it's so beautiful. That's it for the eyeshadow. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Goddess, which is this deep, dark, sparkly blue, and finish off my lower lashes with my Anastasia Lash Brag Volumizing Mascara, and I will be right back. And we are done with the lashes, and I am so excited by this look. But before I can give you guys my final thoughts, let's go ahead and finish the lips. I'm gonna go in with the Lunar Beauty Liquid Lipstick in the shade Zaya. I think I've only tried one of his lipsticks before, and it was a really beautiful bright red, like a primary red. I haven't tried a nude though. You know, if you're the type of person that prefers more of a matte bullet lipstick, like a cream lipstick, you would really like his formula of liquid lipsticks because they have a much softer finish than those matte lipsticks that dry down all the way and give you that, well, that dry matte lip. Sometimes I love that kind of lip because when I go to eat or live my life, it's nice for it not to go anywhere, but sometimes it's nice to have just a really pretty creamy, soft lipstick that just looks great. And that is what the Lunar Beauty lipsticks are. They are that soft, creamy, velvety, cushiony lipstick without the shine of a gloss. And it's perfect. This one's still wet, so this is not a good example, but you get the idea. However, the finish of this one doesn't matter at all because I'm about to ruin it with a gloss anyway. So it's gonna be super shiny by the time I'm done. Oh, the gloss is just a little bit lighter than the lipstick. And there's the gloss in the shade Aura. Guys, this is the finished look. This is everything. So we got the eyeshadow palette on the eyes, the lipstick and the lip gloss on the lips, and then the brushes in the dirty brush jar. That being said, this is the entire look using the Lunar Beauty Eternal Eclipse color palette. What do you guys think of the look? I personally am flabbergasted at how beautiful this palette is. I knew going into it that I was gonna love the blue because, you know, I'm biased. It's blue. I love blue. I love blue. Blue is just so beautiful and it's my favorite color. Purple's my favorite color on my eyes, I think, but blue in general is my favorite color. And I gotta say, with this palette, in my ever so humble opinion, is definitely worth the $48 that I paid for it. Well, I got it in the bundle, so I guess the $95 I paid for it. The palette was worth what I paid for it, essentially. The thing I love the most, as I said earlier, is the fact that this is not just a blue palette, or it's not just a nude palette. It is a really beautiful mix of multiple tones that can work together to create so many different looks. Yes, it's probably gonna have a tone to it that matches this kind of theme, so be aware of that. But I could still go in here and just create a neutral look, a cool look, a warm look, more blue looks, a black look. There's just so many things I can do with this. And this having the color story that it does, it can be versatile in a way that you can be creative with, but it can also be versatile in a way that you can use as an everyday wearable type of way. And I think that is so important in today's market because it's so hard to hit both of those niches at the same time. Not only that, but the packaging literally doesn't matter at all for the eyeshadow, but the packaging, mwah. is phenomenal for sure. The raised moon is just really cool and it's so sexy. You know, it's just so sexy. And quality-wise, it was just like the Strawberry Dreams palette. The pigments within it are very pigmented. They offer a lot of punch to the pigment. So much so that I would recommend being a little bit careful with it, just in case, depending on what shades you use. Like I said, the blue did get a little bit extreme quickly, but I was able to rein it in just by stopping blending, and it stopped it from getting too blown out, but it was on its way to becoming that. So just keep that in mind, know it, be aware of it. But other than that little miscommunication with formula, I had no problems. Everything worked so beautifully. It all worked together well, and the formula just played nice. It did. It was great. It was literally a wonderful experience using the palette and creating the look. The brushes were also very nice. I love the style with the gradient on them, and I'm excited that he named them LBE1, so like Lunar Beauty Eye 1, because that means there's gonna be more, probably. If there's an eye set, there's gotta be a face set at some point, right? You would imagine. The lipstick and the lip gloss formulas, I've already talked about the lipstick. I think it's great. The lip gloss, I haven't had a lot of experience with his lip glosses, so I'm going to have to give you a little first impressions moment with it rather than an extended review. First impressions, it looks great. It looks plumping. It's a little thicker than I thought it was going to be, which I prefer because it does make my lips look bigger than they are, which is fantastic for me especially. And it sat on top of the lipstick really well. It didn't mix in and get all muddy. It went on top nicely. So I like it so far. It feels comfortable on the lips. The lipsticks I of course already love, so there's no question about it there. And the packaging for these are also really cool. The little diamond thing in the top, the prism if you will, is really cool. And it's not exposed, which is nice because that looks like it could hurt someone. And with that, that is the entire review done. I want to know what you guys think. Do you like the color story? Do you think the palette is something that you would like? Are you into the whole midnight blue theme? Or are you more bright pinks or bright yellows? Let me know in the comments. You guys know that I always love to have a conversation with you. I always try and respond to everyone's comment. So please leave me a comment. Let's talk. If you did enjoy this video, it'd be really cool of you if you wanted to give me a thumbs up just to let me know that you did and to let others know that you actually like my content. It helps me out just by clicking that one little button. It also helps me out a lot if you decide randomly for no reason that you want to hit the subscribe button and actually be subscribed to my channel. Since you're watching the video anyway, you're coming here for the review to see if the Lunar Beauty Eternal Eclipse palette is good. There's gonna be more palettes. There's gonna be more reviews, and I probably will be reviewing them. So why not just hang out? Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell right beside it so that you can be notified of all my future uploads. You know you don't want to miss one, and I'd also appreciate it as well. So it's a win-win for you and me. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, please at least gain this. And that is to always remember and to never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye.